Alright guys, this is the first day in Boston, and had a pretty good night. Went out with a friend, a family friend, CJ, and her boyfriend, Jeff. Went out to the Neptune Oyster bar, and pretty nice place. We ended up having I ended up having a lobster spaghetti. They call it a lobster spaghettini, and I also tried Jeff's lobster roll, hot lobster roll with butter, and I believe CJ had some kind of fish. And I have to say that the lobster spaghettini, which is basically like, as you can see from the picture, it's kind of like chunks of lobster in like a pasta with a nice tomato sauce, and it was actually pretty good. The tomato sauce was light. The pasta was sucking up all the sauce's juices and stuff like that, so it really made it flavorful. And they didn't really skimp on the lobster either, which is a good thing. So yeah, and the lobster roll, the hot lobster roll with butter, oh man, that is definitely worth going to. And that's coming from the Serious Eats Dining Out Guide in Boston, and I have to say that that is a really good lobster roll. Now tomorrow I'll see what I can do by going to the one that's recommended as #1 by Serious Eats as B&G's, I believe it's B&G's Oysters, I believe is what it is. And so I'll go ahead and take a look at that tomorrow. And then afterwards we also had we also went out for dessert. Went for Boston cream pie and a cannoli at Mike's Pastry, and then afterwards we also went to Modern Pastry Shop for their cannoli, and you can see from the picture of Mike's Pastry cannoli that it's significantly larger than the Modern Pastry. As you can see, I have the two of them. You know, in that picture. And I have to say that between the two, in the head-to-head challenge of cannolis, although Mike's is huge, Modern's Pastry is better. The mascarpone filling was a lot better. I mean, both of them were both of the cannolis from both locations had a really nice crispy casing, and they weren't greasy, surprisingly enough, because I remember previous reviews from Serious Eats say that it's one of them was greasier than the other. And I had to say that Modern Pastry's filling, the mascarpone filling, was a lot better. It had a hint of vanilla in the mascarpone filling at Modern as opposed to Mike's. And the funny part is Mike's is extremely busy, like totally busy, like tourists coming in and out, or people coming in and out of Mike's Pastry. But Modern's is actually a better tasting one. So at least from my point of view, I did a head-to-head challenge, and I have to say that although Mike's is huge, their mascarpone filling seems a little bit plain to me. You know, because they already have it pre-made and they have it in behind the refrigerated case, as opposed to Moderns, where they have the casing itself, the crispy fried casing in the refrigerated display, but they put the filling right when you order it. And I think because of that, the filling is actually kind of a lot, the consistency is a lot smoother, and it has a better, to me at least, it has a better flavor in the mascarpone. And I think it's because of that hint of vanilla extract that they put in there. And I didn't ask them what the filling was, or what was in the filling, but from the taste, it was definitely the vanilla, a vanilla type extract. So about the Boston cream pie, me and the other Jeff agreed that there's something in the flavor of the custard in the Boston cream pie that kind of took it a weird way. I mean, the custard seems like a standard custard, but there's a hint of something. And the other Jeff was talking about like a ginger taste, and I have to agree, it's some sort of gingery kind of flavor, and I just can't point it out. And actually, thinking back, it kind of tastes like a much more sophisticated version of a moon pie. I know I'm disrespecting Bostonians, but maybe I should have a Boston cream pie somewhere else, so I can compare it to. While we were at Neptune Oyster Bar, we ended up having a sampling of four different oysters from various locations, and as you can see from the picture, and it was nice because you could taste the flavor without if you don't put any of the sauces there. They had the two sauces that are in there seem to be like a Tabasco mixed with a light horseradish, and the second one was kind of like a vinegar onion kind of mix with black pepper. So for the most part, when I was tasting these oysters, I had only used a little bit of lemon and not too much, and yeah, good flavors. So first day of Boston, and I have to say that my hotel is conveniently located near the North End, so it's a very close walking distance to all the stuff I wanted to see, and a lot of stuff I wanted to see in history is on the North End, and a lot of restaurants and clubs and bars are in the North End, so that was kind of nice. So until then, thanks for watching.